Hello and welcome to the Recommended Podcast. My name is Ryker, and this is my stand-in co-host, Chandler.
What up, buddy?
You know, another day in paradise, talking about movies and such. And this is a movie podcast about movies, TV, and entertainment media. And this week was kind of a surprise. We didn't really tell anybody what we were going to do because we didn't know what Chandler was going to pick, and we also didn't know what was going to happen with Brendan because Brendan is on vacation currently, and we had to fill in some episodes because we have back-to-back vacations scheduled, so we had to make some extras. And Brendan, not a big fan of horror movies.
Is it horror, though?
I would qualify the first one as horror and the second one not so much. But we're going to do a double feature for the first time, and it's going to be a horror movie double feature. We're going to do Alien and Aliens from the Alien franchise, which is now like 7 movies deep. It's a lot. But the one thing I brought the movie case on because this is called Alien the Quadrilogy because at the time there were
I can't even say it.
Quadrilogy, which is just I guess the way that they wanted to term it because it's Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection, and they just didn't have a good way to just say quad. It's the quad movie, but they called it the Quadrilogy. So I actually watched mine on Blu-ray because I've been getting more and more into physical media, as you've probably heard if you've been an avid listener of the podcast. But I recommend you check out this movie. I'm just going to say it because he's not here. Brendan doesn't because he doesn't like horror movies. I'm sure he would appreciate this one though, because this is it's a good flick. It's I would say it's still scary, but it probably falls more into like the Halloween range where it's scary, but it's not as scary because there's been a lot more crazy stuff that's happened because of the this movie walked so other movies could run. So what about you, Chandler? You recommend it? You picked this and the second one, so
yes. I mean I love these movies. I saw these when I was like 10, and I don't know how many times I've watched them, but classics. When we get to the end of the episode, I'll give you my opinion on the first one.
Okay.
From then to now.
Yeah. So this is going to be a little weird, not something we would typically do with how we're doing episode structure. So I'm kind of playing hot and loose with it. So we're going to do a normal episode for Alien, and then we're going to do Aliens in the next episode. But there might end up being a little bit of intermingling. We'll try to do our best to separate the two out, just because we want you to be able to watch both of them. Like I said, we both recommend you check it out. They're fun movies. Stick around though, and we'll tell you why you should go check them out. They're older, so it's going to be more of a jump. But you can get these on Hulu currently. They're out there, easy to get a hold of, and I think they're available most places for like renting if they aren't available to stream at the time you're listening to this. But right now you can watch it on Hulu. That all being said, we're going to do the first piece of the podcast, which is what we always do. Chandler, what have you been watching? What have you been watching recently?
We just finished the show You.
Oh, I know. I finished that a week or so ago. Oh, you're talking about you and your wife.
Yeah.
You said we just finished you. I was messing with you, dude.
Don't do that. My wife and I just finished You. The show.
Okay, good. I was going to say,
My
whoa, hold on
God.
a minute.
Other than that,
What'd you think?
It was great. Definitely one of the better seasons, I think, out of all of them. But,
really?
Yeah.
I thought I wasn't a big fan of this season. No, again, I'll preface that by saying a lot of I think the middle 2 seasons kind of jumped the shark a little bit. They kind of went crazy town with like, oh, we're just going to do whatever the heck we want.
Dude, the show's been out for so long. I kind of forget what happened at the beginning almost. I'm so glad they do flashbacks.
Well, the first one was a little bit more grounded in reality. I feel like still kind of crazy town, but it's like still like some semblance of reality. And then I think even maybe the second season kind of gets there, but there's a point where it just kind of goes like, man, we are going like just ham sandwich with this, huh? We're just going to jump entirely over the shark. Mm-hmm. But I felt like this season it kind of went back a little bit grounded, but it's still like the concepts of the things that they were trying to pull off just seemed like, okay, yeah, sure. All right. We just want we just want it to all kind of work. So we're gonna let that go. But yeah, I still felt like it was a good season.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a great ending for the character and the way we leave Joe and that universe. But yeah, Penn Badgley's great.
But I mean, that's about it. I mean, as far as currently watching, we're kind of stuck right now because we are waiting for the show called Waterfront, I believe. That's going to come out on Netflix in a couple weeks. That looks really good. But looks like another murder mystery show.
Oh, did you watch Brendan talked about it a little while. I think it's called like Murder in the White House or Murder in the Oval Office.
No, that was oh shoot.
I forget what it was called. He talked about it though cuz I haven't watched it yet myself.
We watched that already.
Okay, you did watch that one?
I just cannot remember the name of it. It was really good.
Yeah, I've been kind of like eyeballing it as I
It was basically Clue in the White House.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I don't see it. Yeah, it's not my movie. It's not my show. I'm just Brendan suggested it. If you already watched it, we don't need to talk about it again.
It is your show. I'm just here. I got called off the bench to play. I'm ecstatic right now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Lightning bolts just shooting off his
Put me in,
fingertips.
coach.
So, I actually have been watching that 4-season show that they put on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
We finished watching all of the Love on the Spectrum that was on there, except for we want to dip into the Australia stuff, but I think it's a fun show. I
heard you. I in the last couple episodes, I heard you talk about it. I haven't turned it on yet.
It's very lighthearted. It's like I think you if you listen to the episode, I describe it as like you're rooting for all the people instead of hating all the people. Like you're just like instead of thinking these guys suck shit. I hope they never find love ever. You're really like hoping that all of them are like have all the best things in the world.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have that little break. I actually, like I said, I've been dipping like way into like old stuff. I actually watched Sweeney Todd because my sister had never seen it. I made her watch Aliens. She hadn't seen that. But I've been kind of finding like a bunch of old stuff to watch again. And the movie I have on the docket for I think my next watch will probably be either tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to watch Blue Velvet again. I watched it when I was younger, but I don't know if I could appreciate it when I watched it, so I want to watch it again. It's a David Lynch movie, and those are kind of weird. So I think that I was probably just too young to appreciate it, or it was just kind of. I feel like it warrants another watch for sure.
That's kind of why I picked these, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think the older they get, the more you can appreciate it, in my opinion. So,
like a fine wine.
Oh yes.
So yeah, let's mosey on over to the snack bar, buddy.
I don't want to do the snack bar.
You don't want to do this? Oh, you got your gun shy?
Last couple weeks, I do not want to do the snack bar.
Listen,
but we will. We will.
Did
you have eggs? There's eggs in this movie.
I've been tearing into Brendan because of like his picks. I let him slide last week when he said Lunchable. I was like, well, I think are you snacking on a Lunchable? Like, I know like you're an adult though. Like he's like, so like that's not a full meal for an adult. But like when you were a kid, you're eating a Lunchable as lunch.
Set.
Like that's what you're doing.
You're
like,
set.
Yeah. So like when he said he's eating his kid's Lunchable, I was like, all right, I'm letting this go.
All the food groups are provided.
You got your cheese group. You got your pepperoni group.
Bread.
A little sauce. I'm trying to think if during the first movie I was eating anything. I don't think it was because I think I definitely was eating something while I was watching the second movie.
Me too. Yeah, same here.
But I don't think I was watching anything for the first movie. I think it was like kind of getting close to the end of the night. Oh, you know what? Birthday cake. It was my birthday just recently. I had some of my Nothing Bundt Cake birthday cake.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a chocolate chip birthday cake. Which actually would be what I would recommend as a snack for this because it's delightful and great. Not a birthday cake, but a chocolate chip cookie. I think that a big like honker chocolate chip cookie would be good.
The place that went in right next door to them, the Peach Cobbler place.
Okay.
I forget what it's called.
Cobbler?
Something is that serious? Oh my god!
No
if that's
idea.
what it's called,
I'll Google it right now.
This whole shout out has failed, but no.
Yes, it has.
There's a guy I work with. His wife opened up that store, and it's really good as well.
Oh.
They're not going to take Spunk Cake's at business. But
I gotta tell you, I can appreciate them opening up their own store, but they're
killing it.
fighting a tyrant. It's just like that. Seems like a monster to like put a store next to. I think
They'll be fighting in the parking lot.
Is it Mock Cobbler?
I believe so. Maybe.
I believe so. I have no idea.
I have no idea. I regret the last.
Oh, the Peach Cobbler Factory.
Yes.
There you go.
That's it.
See, I looked it
It
up.
had cobbler in it.
Wait, Belleville Village Tower.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Maybe.
Right next door.
Okay. I appreciate it. I like it.
Try it.
Maybe.
But
No, I'll try. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. A little shot.
It's so good. I couldn't remember what it was called.
No, I think I've seen that place when I've been up there. But yeah, I actually had to go pick up my birthday cake the other day because I had the car. We're a one car family. It doesn't really mess with us too much, but when it does, it's like I kept giving my wife like just no end of this like ridicule. I was like, I got to pick up my own birthday cake.
Well, I didn't. I can promise you, I did not have any birthday cake when I watched the first one. I did, but I didn't have anything. So.
Oh, well, I recommend people check out a double chocolate chip cookie. Or I guess a chocolate chip cookie. Not a chocolate chunk cookie. Not a double chocolate chunk cookie. Not one of those, but a double chocolate chip cookie.
Or the confetti cake?
I'm not a big confetti cake person. Really not.
God.
No, I don't like sprinkles. I don't like confetti. Like, I'll eat it if it's there and I have to, but like not my choice.
This changes everything.
So what would you recommend people grab with this? If you didn't eat anything, that's fine. But what do you recommend?
I don't want to do this either.
Just do a snack food, dude.
Can't do gumbo.
Don't do gum. Don't pick a meal. Don't pick something that you're gonna be like, I'm gonna sit down and eat this, and never eat anything again.
I have not had Reese's peanut butter cups in a long time, so I think I'd grab one of those for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You haven't had in a long time. A little nostalgia burst while you're watching your old movie.
I'm not a big candy person.
Oh man, get out of here then.
Right.
I'm pretty sure
we made it 13 minutes in. I think some out.
Walking into my house, you probably got a cavity then, because I'm surrounded with candy all of the time. That's like one of my biggest vices. I say as I sip my brown. Anyway, let's get into the old movie facts.
Let's do it.
Brendan typically does this portion of the podcast, so I need to do a little bit of digging for a second. Do you happen to have the like cast up? I have it up. If you want me to go through it, okay.
Actually.
I will go through the cast. I'll take on Brendan's role. I can't tell you, like, I want to let you know, Brendan, if you are listening to this episode, which you will be, because you love me so much, and you want to make sure
he should be listening to this on vacation.
You didn't want to, no, he can't listen to this on vacation. This one's gonna fall after he vacation. Don't worry about it. We got it. It's logistics. But I want to let you know how appreciated you are, because I know that I do a lot on the back end, but you're doing a lot on the front end too. And I want to let you know I appreciate you. There you go.
Yeah,
so
everybody does their part.
So for this movie, Alien had a budget of around $11 million, and it grossed over $100 million worldwide.
Killed it.
Let's see here. Let's go into the cast. We got Sigourney Weaver as Ripley. We got Tom Skerritt as Dallas. We have John Hurt as Kane. We have Veronica Cartwright as Lambert. We have Harry Dean Stanton. Another 3-named actor that's just killing it out there. He's been killing it for a long time. He was in Christine.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Sure was.
One of Chandler's favorite movies.
Yep.
Ian Holmes was Ash. We got Yaphet Kotto is Parker, and then Boluji Badejo. I can't pronounce his name. I apologize. He's the actor that was inside of the alien suit, and Helen Horton was Mother. But Bolaji Bejo is what I'm going to say his name is. It is
Bolaji.
It's too much for me to pronounce. So This movie was released in 1979. 1979, and it was directed by Ridley Scott, written by Dan O'Bannon. So, synopsis of this movie. After investigating a mysterious transmission of unknown origin, the crew of a commercial spacecraft encounter a deadly life form. That's it. Very short, sweet, to the point.
I love it. That could mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's I like going into movies like kind of not knowing what's going to happen, and I like the fact that it was kind of, loosey goosey. Didn't really give you too much. So that's the cast. That's the director. That's the budget, my bud. I know you got some facts about the movies and the behind the scenes stuff, which is cool beans. I'm happy to talk about it. But there's one thing I want to tell you before we get into this, and it's I would say a mark of shame for myself, and I need to say it out loud so that way I don't. And I need you to give me judgment on what I should do.
All right.
Okay. So this movie, right, Aliens. I got this Blu-ray box set from a Christmas party when I did. I did work back in one of my previous jobs. We went to a Christmas party, and there was a gift exchange. It was a White Elephant exchange. I mistook White Elephant because of The Office with Nasty Christmas, which is where you kind of have you trade off gifts, but they're not necessarily the greatest gifts. They're just kind of crap gifts. I went to the exchange, and I bought the second season or the third season, not the first season on any movie. I spent $25 because that was the limit. I bought 5 seasons of movies or 5 seasons of TV, and they're all crap. The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, or the one with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie.
Now that was a good show.
But it was the second or third season, whatever.
When they go live on the farm.
Yeah. And then I picked up a bunch of just crap seasons of TV. And then I went and I was like, oh man, it's going to be funny when somebody opens this. And then I saw people start opening gifts, and then they were doing the trade-off things.
Jesus Christ.
And they were opening them up, and they were all nice gifts. And I was like, oh, I messed this up. Somebody opened my gift and they got stuck with it, and no one would trade them for it. I had this, and I had the opportunity to say, I'll trade you and give him this and take my crap gift back.
Keep your gift.
So that way it's you don't get stuck with my crap. But I obviously did not do that. And I think about it.
That's a keeper.
Every Christmas. Everybody wanted this, and I ended up with it somehow. And I felt terrible after the fact because I was there's no way they didn't all know. But I was it was my first job out of college, and I did not have a lot of money, and I was just I felt bad about it, but I was I don't have any way to make this up to him, and I had the opportunity, and I just didn't at the time because I was embarrassed. And now it's been years and years and years. So my question to you is, this Christmas, should I see if I can contact that guy on Facebook and say, hey, I'm gonna and buy him this thing and send it to him, or send him a $25 gift card and say, hey man, I want to let you know that was me with the crap gift, if you haven't already figured it out, and just make it up to him.
Jeez.
But that was that's been a thing I think about. People talk about oh, when you can't go to fall asleep at night, and you think about the most embarrassing moments of your life kind of thing. Hey, I'm trying to fall asleep, and then your head's just hey, remember that time you fell over in the 5th grade? Something that's what I think about, and it's nightmare fuel for me. So I'm should I do that? So,
I think you should sell that to me. Dude, DVD sets like that now, 3-4 DVDs in one, they're $50-$60.
Oh, believe me, I know. Not for me. I'm secondhand and left and right, bud. Look behind us. This is my wall of shame. Just 20 cents each, baby.
It's like a Blockbuster in here.
I love it. Doesn't smell like one. It does. I've been spending a lot of time cleaning movies. That's for sure. People are dirty, and if you have movies and you're writing, if you ever have purchased a DVD, all right, look here, real quick, you and me. If you're listening to the podcast, listen here. Tap in my headphones. Listen,
Brian.
Here's what I want you to do. If you're watching, look me in the eyes.
Brian.
Do not, under any circumstance, write your name on the cover of your DVD or on the disc of your DVD.
Don't do that.
Why? Unless you live in an apartment with 17 people and you're afraid someone's going to steal your stuff, don't write your name on it. No one needs that. I've seen so many discs where people have just wrote crap on the disc and it doesn't make any sense because eventually you're going to get rid of that disc, or you're just like, it doesn't make any sense. Don't do it. It's stupid. Stop. That's all I'm asking you. Also, don't steal DVDs. Don't I've been found so many with like rental like tags on them still. It's so and you're probably buying them at like going out of sale places, but that can't happen anymore because there's no place that rents them anymore. So just don't do that. Okay, that's all. That was my PSA for
you. Feel better?
For the moment. Oh, also, I'd like to call I called myself out for last week when I said this is my PSA announcement. PSA is enough. You don't need to say announcement because that's a redundant thing that I did. All right, I've made up for past crimes in that department. But let's start talking about spoilies. Actually, let's not. Got one more thing before we get into the spoilies. It's going to be quick. I promise you all. I don't want anybody that, doesn't want to have spoilies to miss out on our game this week.
We have a game?
We have a game. I have a game. My game is, because this movie is kind of, steeped in the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? I think we're going to hold this till spoiler territory.
Hold, please.
Sorry. We're going to talk about spoilers here shortly. I'm holding the game because it is kind of have a spoilie in it for the movie. And if you haven't watched it yet, I think you deserve to watch it fresh. If you've somehow gone from the year of 1979 or
now
1977, whatever, I think 77 was Star Wars, 1979 until now, and you haven't gotten spoiled on this movie, God bless you. And you're doing the work.
Your life isn't complete, so go watch it.
But go watch the movie. It's good. So we're going to talk about spoilers, and then we'll talk about the game as soon as we get to spoiler territory. So I recommend you watch it. Brendan recommends you watch it, even though he didn't watch it.
I doubt it.
Chandler recommends you watch it. It is a little bit of a horror movie. Not like it's like action horror, but it's still got some scary elements in it. So if you are afraid of movies, don't watch it. Stick around and listen to the podcast, and we'll tell you why you should watch it. So we're going to start spoiling things in 3, 2, 1. Game time, baby. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm gonna try to go through this fast. This should be a fast game, but my game revolves around a aspect of this movie. So a big aspect of this movie is robots, right? Mm-hmm. So I have compiled a list of very recognizable robots from movies, and I want you to tell me the names of the robots in the films they come from.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, it's not going to be too bad.
The names of their characters? Or are we talking
No, not actors. I just want you to give me the names of the characters and the movies that they come from.
Okay? We'll give it a shot.
Or you could just, some of them are, there's like a series. All right? Okay, so the first robots. This one's a twofer, but it's because it's easy. There you go.
Oh, that is C-3PO and R2-D2, Star Wars.
Yep, little callback to last week. This Star Wars. Okay, this next one's still easy. Bringing back your childhood, Chandler. Here you go.
That is Iron Giant.
From?
What do you mean from?
From what movie?
Isn't it called the Iron Giant?
Yeah, it's Iron Giant from the Iron Giant.
I hate you. Voiced by Vin Diesel, if that gives me bonus points.
No, but this one, I only really wanted one, but I feel like I need you to give me both of the robots in this next image.
The hell is that, dude?
You've never seen this?
Isn't that...
This is kind of crazy to me.
That's Polly, right?
The bird? There's a movie called Polly.
Is it Paul or Polly?
No, it's
neither. Okay, neither.
It's neither of those. Starts with a W, sir.
Wally?
Yes. Do you know what the other character is?
I don't.
Okay. from Wall-E. This is Wall-E and Eve.
Eve.
Yep.
Okay. All
Wall-E
right.
and Eve from Wall-E. This one is another one that Brendan would not know. You probably should, I would assume, but Brendan might actually because of advertising. But this is a horror movie. That's kind of what I'm trying. I'm giving you a little hint. Okay, here you go.
Oh shit. Annabelle.
No, that's not a robot. That is
Megan.
just a doll. Yes.
Megan.
Yeah. From
Megan.
yeah, Megan from the
I'm not falling for that.
self-titled. Okay, so here's one that I know you'll
I've never
get.
seen that.
I know you'll get right away.
Is that good?
And if you don't, I'll be upset. Huh?
Is Megan good?
I think it's okay. I think it's good. I think it's got a sequel coming.
Okay.
But I think so. So you probably glanced at it already. I'm going to show you right now. Go ahead. Tell me who this is and what movie franchise.
Dude, what the hell is that?
You don't know what this is?
I don't know what that is.
Oh my God.
I swear I couldn't even guess if I wanted to.
Really?
Is that one of the robots from Terminator? Or like,
This is blowing my mind.
is that Wall-E Part 2? I don't.
Wow, this is like a movie from our childhood.
I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Oh my God.
I swear to God.
I kind of expected that you would know this one.
Nope.
This is from the movie Short Circuit. That's Johnny Five. No? Wow.
You're speaking another language.
I'm kind of
right
blown
now.
away because like that movie, if like franchise, like there's a few of them. That's kind of like nutso to me because let's see here. I'm looking it up real quick. Short Circuit is from 1986, which is like falls in like prime territory that I would think that you would like.
I know.
Like, it would be like your cup of tea.
Never had the pleasure.
Short Circuit and Short Circuit 2. There were two of them. And that is Johnny Five. And they like play, there's a, like the very end of one of the movies, he's like coming to the rescue and they're playing I Need a Hero in the background. It's awesome. All right.
I need to look it up.
Last one. And I know that you saw this movie. I'm shrugging. I don't know. Here we go. What is the name of this character? And what movie? You're not going to know the name of the character. I don't think you will.
I don't know the character name, but that's iRobot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the character.
That is Sunny from iRobot.
Sunny.
Yep, Sunny. Actually, I believe when I was looking it up earlier, I was actually kind of surprised because I forgot that this actor, he does a lot of voice work too. Do you know the show? I think it was called like it was like a Resident Alien. It was like a sci-fi show. It was like getting advertised all over the place. This actor is also in Firefly. His name is Alan Tudyk. He does a lot of voice actor work. But yeah, he was also one of the squires in A Knight's Tale.
Okay.
He was the skinnier of the two squires, between the original crew. This is what he looks like.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you recognize him. But yeah, he was the voice of Sunny from that movie. So that is my game. I didn't come up with a name for it, but I'm gonna say that I'm gonna call it IRobits.
I like it. And spoilers. One of the characters in this movie is a robot. That's the whole reason you did it. Mm-hmm. And there's so many movies out there. There's so many more movies you could have done with that. The options are endless.
There's a lot. So if we have another movie where there's a robot, maybe I'll go down that road again.
Yeah.
But I had a better idea for the second one. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. You want to get into some of your behind the scenes facts that you got?
Yeah, I got a couple. I mean, I was just gonna say right out of the gate, like I said at the beginning. When I saw this when I was a kid, I thought this was the most boring one out of all of them. When I watch it now, I think it's one of the better ones that they've made. And the first one's so subtle. Ridley Scott makes you feel like you're on the ship, in my opinion. Like, I have it noted here, there's not one dialogue in the first 6 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, it takes a little while for it to kick in. Yeah,
like you're basically the camera, which he did all the camera work. I think it was all handheld camera work, I believe, if I read that right. You basically get a tour of the ship while they're all waking up from hypersleep. the sounds, the looks of the ship, like it just, I don't know. I think it's super cool. It's very slow paced. I don't know. That's one of the things that makes me appreciate it more now than when I did when I was younger. But
one thing I noticed while I was watching it that I don't know if it was like intended initially, but you were talking about the like how you feel as part of the ship. I feel like the ship kind of becomes part of the storytelling toward the end of the movie, because we get it starts out, everything they kind of show is kind of bright and white and crisp.
right, yeah,
And there are some darker scenes, and they're like in the main, when they're like in that main terminal area in the cockpit, and it's lighting up green because the computer's kicking on, but it's like a little darker. But everywhere else kind of seems like white and bright and light. And then as we move through this movie, it gets darker and darker.
Right.
We see almost like, it seems like the same type of hallways where the ship is like the same, like padded, like the padded walls that are in there. They are white at the beginning of the movie, but as we get like farther in, like the areas where in the ship are like they're black or like darker colored, and you can't, like, it's just kind of like, hey, we've moved from like the okayness of the the cool happy that we were at the beginning of this movie to into a dark scary area that we haven't been in yet. So I like that about it.
Well, and you know, since the synopsis doesn't really tell you anything as it should, I think it's perfect the way it is. But basically, this crew wakes up from hypersleep realizing they're not home. They're not even close to being home like they thought they would be. They got rerouted to go investigate this beacon, this warning beacon. And here they come to find the alien planet. The Kane, the guy that I can't personally stand in the movie. I don't know why. I just don't. He's my least favorite character out of all of them, I guess. But you know, he gets one of the aliens attached to his face. They bring it back onto the ship, and I mean, that's how. I think, obviously, like you said with the spaceship, that's when things start to turn. That's when everything gets a little darker.
It's kind of funny to me that like Kane, like, you can't stand Kane because like I feel like he doesn't say any, like, you don't, like, he does nothing until he gets he gets an alien attached to his face. Nothing happens.
All he does is complain about the food on the ship, and then he's the first one to get.
Well, it is kind of funny. He complains about the food on the ship, right? And then later on in the movie, he is like so hungry. He's like eating everything because of what, like, you know, what's inside of him.
Because, you know, when something latches onto your face and it comes off and you wake up, the first thing you want to do is eat.
Oh, yeah, and absolutely. Let's not quarantine that person at all, or like lock him up.
All right, let's go have dinner.
Let's invite him to family dinner, like with everybody. It was such a while. I was like,
that's crazy.
Why would you ever let that person out? Like, I was like, okay, well, we'll bring you food in here, and then you'll just stay in this room until we put you in a cryo chamber. And yeah, to like let him out with the general public after he had an alien latched to his face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that just doesn't seem like, that's just like, how wildly unprepared these people were for anything happening.
Yeah, they're basically, I mean, I don't even know how to describe them. They're not, you know, Marines, or, you know, their job, I believe, was to go find, well, I mean, what was their main objective? Weren't they supposed to go source some material from other planets, like rock or something?
I think they might have been mining.
Mining?
It was a mining ship or something like that, because
no weapons.
Little spoily for the second movie, but they talk about the cost of the ship, and then they also talk about like the payload, or like what was on the ship, like the cost of the resources they were going to bring back.
But they seem like normal people.
Yeah,
no weapons, hardly any weapons really, and you know, they're definitely not prepared for emergency situations. So
no, yeah. I mean, also kind of seems like I know this is. I don't know how to say it. Like, I feel like maybe space pirates weren't a thing at the time that they took up, but like to not have any weaponry at all. Like, if like somebody were to get on the ship that had like bad intentions, like, seems kind of wild. But like also. Space madness is probably a thing too, where you just can't let like a gun loose on the ship because it could just get like into the hands of the wrong person on the ship.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. whole bunch of options. Also, firing a gun inside of a spaceship, probably not the best option. That just stop, just thinking about it out loud and saying it. Yeah, I feel like that's probably not your best option. So, what else you got? What else you got for factor-roonies?
Well, as far as facts go, let's see.
Behind the scenes,
Behind the scenes, like I said, Ridley Scott did all of his handheld camera work himself. As far as the person that was going to play the role of Ripley, it came down to Sigourney Weaver or Meryl Streep. Can you? My head can't process that.
Yeah, I mean,
Meryl Streep. What is she going to do?
Is
she going to hug it?
She's Julia and Julia. That's
is she going to hug the alien? And I don't know. I was like, really?
I mean, it's like two different like career paths, right? You get that. You get this. You're the lead alien. If you don't, then you're gonna be in a movie about fashion later on in your career.
But I guess Sigourney showed up to her. She showed up to her audition late. Like she was literally running in out of breath. Read the script she was supposed to, and I guess that sold the part. She was supposed to be kind of in a panic, and that whole effect won her the part.
That's funny.
Harrison Ford turned down the role of Captain Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Star Wars might have been involved in this decision.
Well,
maybe?
Star Wars is 1977, so they probably didn't want it might have been like, he's recording other like filming other movies, but also the fact that I don't know, it might have been like maybe they offered it to him and he talked to George and was like, nah, I don't want you muddling up the people think of you as the captain of the Millennium Falcon, not this nightmare movie that is going to come out.
Right.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. Conjecture. But I do want to talk about Captain Dallas at later on.
Absolutely.
After we get through some of the facts, because there's a point in the movie where some stuff happens, and I want to talk about it.
Yeah, and the alien itself, it's pretty cool. What Ridley Scott had in mind. He basically wanted to turn away from any actual robots, any stuff like that. He wanted it to be genuine. So yeah, so like you said, it was a guy in a suit, but if you notice, if you've seen the movie, I think they said the actual alien only gets I don't even know. It was such a low number, maybe 10 minutes of screen time, actual screen time.
That even seems high.
But that probably is too high. But he wanted to keep it genuine and a mystery. But they, and I don't think the alien ever directly faces the camera. It's always quick.
Well, I think the one time that it would face the camera would probably have been whenever it's in the vents with Dallas, and it it does that weird.
Well, he just wanted a hug.
Yeah, it does that weird hug thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the alien just want a hug.
Maybe it's also too if they were trying to keep the screen time on it. Maybe they were they saw the effects of Jaws and how they didn't have the shark, right? For the
music in the background reminds me of Jaws. It definitely has that feel.
Well, Jaws was 1975, so yeah. I mean it makes sense that it would be a little bit later after, but also it's a horror movie, so you're trying to if you don't want to show the monster off all of the time. Also, back then, it's practical effects, but it probably still it still had its it didn't look as clean or as good as it could have looked. So it was probably let's keep it off screen as much as we can and make everything dark so that way it doesn't show up that it's actually just a dude in a suit. Actually, I really like how in the one scene later on in the movie where the alien's kind of tucked into part of a ship, it's there for a while and it doesn't move, and finally when it does, you're just oh my god, that's not part of the ship. You just think it's part of the ship, just like Sigourney Weaver's character did. So it's very interesting.
I just have a couple more here.
Yeah, go for it.
I know how you are. This will completely make you sick to your stomach. The original cut for this movie was supposed to run 3 hours and 23 minutes. How do you feel about that?
Gross. 3 hours?
If he would have kept everything, 3 hours.
Dude, there was a director's cut option on this quadrilogy.
Oh God.
And I don't know how long that was supposed to be.
You got 3 days to spare?
It was I remember looking it up because I was like, he kept a few scenes in that he was gonna keep in, but I looked into it, I was like, I'm gonna do the one that's on Hulu, the one that's like that you're probably gonna be what you're probably watching. So
I think it's just under 2 hours.
Yeah, it's
on Hulu.
116 minutes. It's on
Okay.
It was on the back of the box. I just looked at it. But yeah, that I think the sequel is like 2 hours and 16 minutes, so just a hair longer. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm all for like movies if they're moving, but if it's like long and drawn out for like no reason. Get me out of here.
And I actually did pull up the deleted scenes for this. I watched them all. He made an excellent choice not putting them in. I mean, one was Sigourney asking Lambert if she ever had a sexual relationship with Captain Dallas. Like completely irrelevant to the story. It wouldn't have changed the movie in any way, shape, or form. That's basically just trying to add in like a love story or jealousy. It's every single deleted scene that was not put in the movie completely justified and excellent choice. But other stuff I got here, I guess they had some really big issues and problems with the spacesuits. I guess the actors kept passing out because they weren't well ventilated.
Wow.
The helmets kept fogging up. But Ridley Scott was determined to get these shots in the spacesuit that he actually used his own kids for part of the scenes, and they started passing out. And he's like, "All right, I guess we do need to do something different." But
that's funny.
But you go back and look at some scenes, the people do look a little smaller. Like it's like they could be his kids in those scenes. But yeah, the spacesuits were a problem for sure. The slime that was caked on the alien was good old KY jelly.
Oh man, another between the Predator and the Alien, they were keeping that business afloat back.
They
in the
must
day.
have brought in like 55-gallon drums of that, but you know,
it's that slimy look, man.
Yep. One last thing. Oh, sorry, I just found the exact time. The Alien has 4 minutes of screen time.
I was going to say 10 minutes seemed way too high.
4.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense to me, bud.
And 130 eggs were made for this movie.
Wow.
And 4 different cats were used to play Jonesy.
I
think the cat was in on it too, by the way.
Yeah, you messaged me that. I was like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What are you talking about?
The damn cat was in on it with the alien.
Yeah, what the hell do you mean by that? Like,
how many assist kills did this cat have for the alien? Making all the people chase him around the ship, and then the alien, oh, hey, here I am, I gotcha. The cat was in on it.
They didn't need to chase the cat ever. Like that's the thing. It's like that's the I mean,
also, what part of the ship leaks water?
Oh, okay.
When does it rain on a spaceship?
So I was thinking the same thing, but they talk about that. Oh gosh, I forget what it is. Like it was like the coolant towers or something like that.
Oh, okay.
That's what they were.
All right. Well, that's the smartest answer I've heard, so I'll accept it. The only reason I brought that up was because he was chasing the cat, and then he stops to cool off under some water. I'm like, is that?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I thought the same thing. I was like, what the hell is this? And then I think later on they said they found him like near the coolant towers, and then he got tripped up. Okay, so here's the thing that actually kind of puts me in the right space to talk about what I was going to talk about. Was there anything in what you found about Captain like Dallas making a comeback at some point?
As far as you mean, like
just showing back up?
Showing back up. I mean, not really. The way it was filmed, no, not really. I know there's one deleted scene where Ripley finds him cocooned.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
There is a deleted scene that he did not put in the movie where she finds him cocooned up against the wall, waiting to get harvest for a chest burst alien.
Yeah.
and she actually uses the flamethrower to burn him to kill him.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense because the reason I asked that question is because we go through the whole movie. The alien rips everybody apart, and in the scene in which Dallas is gone, right? The one ship hand, I guess the head of like the maintenance crew, Parker says, I found this. No blood, no body.
Right.
And I was like, okay, why is there no blood and no body? Like what? Like I was like, unless of course they were thinking about bringing this character back, like just like, oh, maybe he comes in at the last second, saves the day, kind of thing, or protects somebody. But yeah, that makes more sense if he's like cocooned. But right. I think I enjoy the fact that they didn't have that because we get that in the second movie.
Yeah, and I know we'll bring this up again in the next episode when we do the second movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how the alien picks his victims. Like I don't know how they decide who they just completely rip to shreds and who they obviously save, just knock out and save and cocoon. I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason or not, but it seems like it's very random. So
yeah, we'll have to talk about that more in the next one because it doesn't happen really in this. It's just murder. Like the alien I think the face huggers create that, but I think after a certain period of time probably, and a queen is like made, then it becomes more relevant to bring back to bring back a body to be, I don't want to say harvested, infected, an incubator, right? Like to become an incubator. So right. I don't know. Yeah. But we could talk about that more. But no, I think this movie's super solid in like the way that they do a lot of things, like the way that they have the mother. Right, mother is like an entity that is like an AI that runs the ship.
It's Siri,
but only the captain can go talk to it, or right. I guess the science officer. And then we get this surprise element of the science officer is a robot.
He is a robot,
and nobody knows except for, or I guess nobody knows until he turns on them. Right. Ripley even asked the captains, like, "Hey, what about this guy? What like, have you done any missions with him?" And he's like, "No, I did 5 with this other person, and then the last minute before we took off on this ship, we ended up with Ash, and he's seems fine to me." And like, he's breaking all these protocols too. Like they keep like whenever there's not supposed to let anybody onto the ship that like could possibly have some sort of alien organism on him, he lets them in immediately, and he's got the other directive to just disregard human life to bring back the alien specimen because it's going to be worth more to the company. I think a big theme for these movies is that the company is the bad guy, right? Most of the time, like it's not necessarily alien. Aliens just, that's why the Ash says something to the extent of is like, kind of like respect the fact that it's kind of beautiful because it only has one sole purpose and one like thing that it does, and that is to just live. Which right. Honestly, it kind of makes me surprised that Ash gives them helpful advice with saying that like fire would be a good way to like deal with it, because most things would hate fire, because I would assume that he would try to like not tell them something that would actually work. Because he doesn't want them to succeed.
Yeah, that did confuse me a little bit. Like if you're watching this for the first time, you have no idea that you think he's just part of the crew. And this movie does a good job to not really like have a main character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Ripley survives. She's the lone survivor at the end, but I wouldn't even call her the main character, three quarters through this movie. But
yeah, I mean, you're just part of the crew, right? It's mostly, and then it becomes her because she's going to be, you can tell that she's in charge now, and she's taking the lead, and she's going to try to save the day kind of thing.
But you can tell with as far as Ash, the guy that plays, he's the robot, you can tell that he wasn't really programmed to kill people, because I'm sorry, but when he tries to kill her with a magazine.
Yeah, just jamming a magazine in her mouth. Yeah,
I'm just gonna shove something in your mouth to make you not breathe, and hopefully it works.
And then he also does like the Indiana Jones like death like claw on Parker's chest. Ash was Ian Holm, by the way. Ian Holm.
Yep.
But he grabs it. Yeah, grabs him by the chest. Like it's like, God, Kalimala. He's gonna like rip his heart out. But yeah, honestly, it's kind of wild to see. I don't know, like him trying, like him, like the slow reveal, right? She hits him, and then like
Very
there's like
slow.
And then you see him eat, like it's kind of fun because like you see him eating with them every time, and it's kind of like, oh, he's not eating though. He's only ever drinking like this milk substance, which kind of goes back to a few episodes ago when I was kept talking about how the bad guys always seemingly are drinking milk. If they're drinking milk, you got to watch out for them.
Yeah, I think he pours a bowl of cereal, but he never eats it.
No, he's definitely just drinking milk, like drinking that milk. Yeah. But yeah, or if he does have like anything in that bowl, you only ever see him drinking like the white juice. I don't even know if it's milk, it's just white goo. But that's what he ends up like becoming. It's like sweating off of his head later on, and then also explodes all over the place after he gets ripped apart. Which is like a very fun like fight scene, and then they do that really like hard like cut where they're like it's definitely like a mannequin, and then like he like shifts and then it's just his head.
That was that was a bad one.
I mean, I'm sure it was great at the time, right. But like right now it's just kind of like you see it, you're just like, oh, okay. I was like, couldn't we just like could you go onto a wide shot and then cut back? Like it just like it seems out of place. They do a much better job of like a ripped apart robot in the second film. Yeah. So, but
the chest burst scene.
Oh yeah,
they did that one worked out really well.
That cracks my wife up every time. We watched it 3 or 4 times, and she laughed every single time.
I mean, it looked good though, and the reactions were genuine. They knew, the actors knew something was going to happen, but they didn't know to what extent. So those were all genuine reactions. So
I mean, they all kind of looked stunned at the end of the scene, but like the thing that got her every time was the fact that like the alien had like she kept calling it a grill. Because its teeth are silver. She's like, it's wearing a grill. And then when it like skitters away across the table, she's like, it's like, ee! And it's like running across the table. It's so ridiculous. Yeah, she loves that scene.
That's the other thing too that I still haven't wrapped my head around. Still to this day, these things must grow.
Oh yeah,
at a rapid rate. Like
yeah, watch. I don't know
what their lifespan is.
Less than 24 hours before it started like going nutso mode.
Yeah,
but honestly, it has to be a little while, right? Because they lost contact with I'm thinking about the second movie. In the second movie, they lost contact with the colony, and in that movie, like there's there are more, but they've been there for a while. Like that's I think why we develop a queen character, like they eventually get a queen. But in I think Alien Resurrection, I can't remember if that's the one or not. But there's like a queen in the Alien Resurrection movie, and she is like she gets established like very fast. They're almost like mayflies, man. They got a day lifespan, so they like evolve super quick, super fast.
Well, in this movie it's really fast, and it's just one, which is the crazy thing, just one.
Yeah.
So this thing goes through the crew one by one
until it goes twos at the end. It gets 2 of them.
Well, I think my favorite part of the whole movie is whenever the alien gets Parker and Lambert, and then it just goes silent. It's just the camera's on Ripley with her cat. It just goes silent, and it's like you are literally the only person left on this ship, and it's like, holy shit. And I don't know. It's the camera work, the silence. It's like it got to me at least, but the adrenaline and the suspense. It's good.
Best death of the movie.
Best death? I don't know. I laugh every time Dallas dies. The hug, man, it gets me every time. Just it gets me every time.
I think that I mean, there's really only like one really good like shot of a death scene, and that's the chest burster scene.
Yeah,
Kills him. Yeah. Right. The alien dies pretty like gloriously too, like getting blasted out into space and then sucked into an engine and blasted away.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff with with that.
We gotta talk about the ending before we're done too.
Yeah, good. Let's talk about the ending.
I
don't have anything else for the.
I was gonna say, if you got anything.
Bulk.
As far as the ending goes, so of course, she has to go back for her cat.
Oh, yeah, why not? I mean,
she's very loyal. No, she sets up the self-destruct to blow the ship.
Yep.
As she should. At this point, she doesn't know where the alien's at, but she goes on to the emergency shuttle ship with the cat. And,
You're not going to talk about how she had to run back to try to shut the things down?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Blocking the shuttle.
Right. Yeah.
Then that was all for nothing.
I wasn't going to get too far into it, but that was annoying.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it builds a little bit more suspense. Like, it's like, oh, I got to stop because the alien's blocking my way. And then then she goes back and is like, well, I guess I got to try anyway.
Yep. Self-destruct's a bitch, man.
Yeah.
But
I love it, too, because she starts yelling at Mother. Come on!
You bitch.
Turn the cooling back on. Come on, Mother.
But she gets on the shuttle, and I haven't figured this out yet, still to this day. So you're not supposed to realize it till the alien hand pops out of one of the panels on the shuttle ship. She's about to take off. I don't know what that thing was doing, taking a nap.
Yeah,
getting ready to die. I don't
know, man.
It's the most subtle.
Maybe it was gonna molt again.
I don't know.
Like lose its skin and then become a queen. Who knows?
Like it wasn't even gonna kill her.
Yeah, it was just sleeping. It was just like hanging out.
But
don't wake me up.
I did read that, she strips down out of her clothes into a tank top and underwear. I did read that Ridley Scott wanted to do full nudity with that, and it's like obviously they
you did, Ridley.
I bet he did too, but
Mr. Scott.
Obviously they didn't do it, but it's like why?
My wife was like,
"Is she gonna fight the alien naked?"
Do you think they could give her underwear that fit?
Yeah, we got major plumber's crack on that one.
2 sizes too small for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, it was funny though, because she does get scared. She runs and she gets into a actual space suit, and then uses that. I was like, oh, that makes sense, because it would be way easier to just. I also don't know why she waited so long to just depressurize the cabin. Everything else could just be jettisoned. She didn't need to wait for the alien to be an inch away from her and almost murdering her to send it out into space.
Well, she had her back turned to it, and it's like, are you gonna look? Are you gonna make sure he's?
I think she was doing it because she didn't she just assumed that it didn't attack any of the walls or anything like that, and it could only really sense
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Humans. I don't know exactly what they're how the alien's vision is based. And we know that Predator is heat vision, right? So it can see the human inside the suit, but she, I think, was under the impression that if it can't see her, it might not think that it's she's a human or something to that extent. But then she slams the button and launches it out through the door, and then shoots it in the chest with the grappling hook, which is a terrible weapon to use as a firearm. Because it just pulled the monster back to the ship after she got it away. But I mean, that's all she had, right? So
yeah.
Oh no, that was a fun oh man, that sucks, because you got it away until you didn't, and it's coming back at you. Also, it's kind of you kind of have to I wonder what people's thoughts were at the time when they're watching this movie, and it didn't end. The ship blows up, and she's like, "I got you," and then they
had to be terrified.
The movie carries on, and you're just what are we waiting to see here? What's happening?
She got it.
Yeah, and then then all of a sudden, oh, I guess she didn't get it. I guess we're boned. What do we do now?
Is nobody gonna survive this movie?
Yeah, honestly, up in the air. If he really wanted to take a dark, They could have like killed everybody and then just had the alien floating in that ship, and then maybe it ends with it getting picked up by somebody else.
That's true.
And that's how the next.
Could you imagine sitting in this movie theater and everybody dies, and then the credits come on, and you'd be like, and
then it pops up based on a true story.
okay, Jesus,
that'd be funny as heck. Well, Chandler, I got to tell you, I really enjoyed this movie. I hope you really enjoyed this movie. Thank you for suggesting it. But we got another one coming up.
We do.
So we'll talk.
We kind of flew through this one, but I mean, it's hard to explain it because it's good, but you gotta go see it for yourself.
We can't really we can't detail every single death in the movie or anything like that. Yeah. But it does do a good job of building suspense the whole time. It's a little slow, but it's not slow at the same time. Like, it builds suspense well. Like, you don't get bored while you're watching it.
No.
But you it's not like you're just like everything. There's like something happening all of the time. But it is like it's a good watch for sure.
And the only other thing I had is I recommend one more thing with this movie.
Okay.
And it's not a movie.
Oh, it's
a game.
Oh, a game. Oh, Alien Resurrection or Alien Isolation.
Isolation. If you watch this movie and then want to do something that makes you feel like you're in the movie, go play Alien Isolation, because I've played through that game 3-4 times. That game did so good copying the movie. Like, the ship model, the alien, everything. You feel like you're in the movie. It's great. It's a great game for sure. So I recommend that too.
Alrighty then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about ratings. I've got the ratings because I'm pulling double duty today.
It had to be up there, right?
Oh, it's up there. It's a high-rated movie for sure. Rotten Tomatoes got a 93% from critics and a 94% from the audiences.
Perfect.
IMDb is an 8.5 on this one, so very well received, very good movie. Again, I really like this one. I think that I think Brendan, even though he doesn't like horror movies, I think he would have appreciated this movie because again, I feel like this one walked so other horror movies could run. Like, this thing was the start of a lot of different things that would be considered tropes now because of the fact that they established it.
Mm-hmm.
So Chandler, any final thoughts on the ratings? What you thought about this? Why you like it? Show it to your 10-year-olds like you when you watch it.
Jesus. No, like I said, man, I didn't appreciate it when I saw it when I was a kid. I think now I appreciate it more. I respect it more. This used to be, when I was a kid, this was my least favorite out of all of them, and I've kind of flipped the script. I like this one, I think, the best, honestly. So I don't know if it's just because it's the original or what, but
I think my least favorite was Resurrection.
That one was just weird.
Yeah, I think that might have been I probably watched that movie when I was I'd probably seen the originals, but I was too young to remember them, and that was the first Alien movie I can remember.
Right.
So all I really remember is the sweet basketball shot that she makes, and and just the reveal of the one character being a robot, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what just because the data port that's on her body is hidden by a mole. I'm like, what? Why is that? Okay, whatever. But yeah.
Well, for the longest time, it was just those four. You had Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection, and that was it. I don't think Alien versus Predator came out till what, mid-2000s?
No, yeah,
maybe?
I think you're right. And then also we had the Prometheus prequels started coming out, and then Romulus was
Romulus was really good.
Was last year, and it was
they're still going.
Really good. I really liked it a lot.
But for a while there, it was just those four. I mean, for a while there, you thought the franchise was done. So making a comeback, tying all the movies together.
Love it. I love it. You know what else I love, Chandler?
What do you love?
I love it when people go and watch the podcast. They go and listen to the podcast, and they go and review the podcast. If you can, give us a 5-star review. It'd be awesome. If you made it this far, go ahead. Come on, help us out. It's a help to watch us, but it's even more helpful to go comment, put in a 5-star review. And if you have the time, go check us out on YouTube. We're the Recommended Podcast. On Instagram, we're the Recommended Podcast. On X, we're the Recommended Podcast. And on TikTok, we're the Recommended Podcast. On Facebook, we're the Recommended, and we're the Recommended on wherever you get your podcast fix. So if you're watching us on YouTube, hey, thanks. But you can check us out on Apple Podcasts. You can check us out on Spotify. You can check us out on Overcast. Anywhere you would get your podcast at, that's where we're at. We're the Recommended.
Take a breath, man.
I can't do it. But I got to thank you, Chandler, for filling in this week while we have some vacation stuff happening.
I will be back.
You will be back for next week. And you'll be back again when Brendan is back after his time off, well-deserved time off. So I'm hoping at some point we get just a Chandler or Brendan episode, and then I can take a break.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
All right. Well, we will catch all of you next week for Aliens, the sequel to Alien. So give a watch if you can. It's on Hulu, and we'll see you then. Chandler, do you want to send us out with anything fun and exciting? A little quote for the movie?
Oh God, I'm not as good. I'm not as witty as Brendan. You're gonna have to take this, bud. I'm sorry. I suck.
I'm not as witty as Brendan either.
I know.
Let's see here.
This is where he shines.
Let's see here. We named the dog Indiana. Oh, wait, that's not this movie. All right, guys. We'll see you all next week. Bye.